Welcome to Evolutionary Men, where we learn to lead in life and love with head, heart, and guts. This is for men wanting to deepen their presence in the world, clarify their purpose, more easily connect with their power, and find ease in dating and relationships. I'm your host, Jason Lang. Let's get started.
All right, and welcome back. Today, I want to talk about one of the most important practices we can do as men. So when we're wanting to deepen and cultivate a more powerful, impactful, and meaningful masculine presence, one of the most simple things we can start to do is to feel death daily. That's right. To feel death daily. Masculine energy, in a lot of ways, is just the energy of perspective. It's the energy of seeing things from a bigger, more expansive place. Death is the ultimate perspective. It's the ultimate representation of the pure masculine. It is nothingness, the eternal emptiness that we all return to. Most of our lives, we run away from putting attention on that. It's scary to think about death, to think things are going to come to an end, and I don't know when. Instead of ignoring it, we can consciously choose to become aware of it and let it guide us through our days and through our decisions. Contemplating death, I find to be quite enlivening, quite awakening, and quite motivating. We've heard countless stories of people who receive terminal diagnoses, knowing that suddenly they only have 3, 6, maybe 9 months left to live. And how much living they end up doing in that short amount of time. It's because they're feeling death. They've changed their perspective. They know it's coming to an end. And from that perspective, they become liberated. That's what we're going for. That's what we can begin to cultivate through a practice of feeling death daily. I talk to a lot of guys on the phone these days, some of whom end up doing one-on-one work with me, some who end up coming to men's groups, some who end up doing my deep coaching program. And with all of them, I have to talk about one of the big shifts we can make to lead more meaningful lives. And it comes down to what I call leading with vulnerability, i.e., going out there and leading, going for what I want in life when I don't know the outcome. Leading with vulnerability is one of the most powerful capacities we can develop in our own inner masculine. What it really comes down to is connecting to death, which is connecting to depth. It means connecting to something beyond just this moment. It's that shift in perspective, right? When I connect to what's deeper than right now, I'm changing my perspective, taking a bigger perspective. Death is the ultimate perspective. It's the perspective it all goes back to. Everything else is just lights and sound and color along the way. So if we want to take the deepest, widest perspective, that's what we can connect to beyond this moment. If this was my last conversation with my partner, how would I want to touch her or him? This was my last opportunity to be with my parents. What would I want to say? If this was the last time I could see that beautiful orange tree in my backyard, how would I look at it? What would I appreciate about it? That is what makes us powerful as men, when we can connect to that, when we can connect and take a deeper and wider perspective than what's happening in the moment. It changes how we lead. It changes how we love. Death deepens us. When you begin to feel death daily, you know that this isn't going to last forever. Not every dream is going to become a reality. I only have so much time. I may not get all the outcomes I want in life. And the truth is, we may show up in the world, take risks, take those vulnerable chances, and still not get the outcomes we want in the world. When we're feeling death daily, part of the perspective shift it brings, that I really work with men on, is it's not about getting the outcome. It's about, did I show up? Did I put myself out there? Did I show up in presence and go for it? Did I take the shot? Because for us men, the biggest regrets I've seen and heard from talking to hundreds and hundreds of guys always comes down to the arrows in my heart that I feel that have accumulated after years and years and years are not my failures. Even deeper than that, they're the opportunities I didn't take, the chances I didn't pursue, the time I didn't put in to the things I cared about and the people I cared about, the times I didn't take the shot. When we're feeling death daily, it becomes much easier to just go for it and let go of the outcome and know that is what leads to living a meaningful, fulfilling life. No matter what happens on the outside, I'm doing my part. I'm taking the risks. I'm showing up fiercely and vulnerably in the world. Now, the beauty of that is when we start to live in that way, we start to live day by day in a way that makes us feel complete. No, maybe I didn't get everything done that I want to get done, but I did everything I could today. I like to say this is kind of the feeling of being complete. I feel complete in how I showed up, how I used my time today. And the real power of that then becomes, well, if that fateful moment happened and I found myself taking my last breath, my last exhale, what would go through my mind? Would I feel tense, contracted, afraid? But I didn't get to, and I really should have. I totally regret. I didn't call. Can just feel the list of incomplete parts of our lives. versus when we're living this day to day, leading with vulnerability, feeling death daily, and going for things, moving towards the things that really matter to us, taking the risks, putting ourselves out there, claiming what we want. Whether or not those things succeed, we have the feeling deep in our heart, deep in our souls, well, I did my part. I went for it. And so I can exhale and relax and breathe easy during that last powerful breath. I feel complete. I did my part. My heart is open. My body is relaxed. There's nothing left to do. I've taken action on all the things that are meaningful to me. In big and small ways, I'm living completely. That's what it takes to live a life of peace as a man. Doesn't mean we're doing less. Doesn't mean we've sorted it all out. Doesn't mean we're even successful in everything we did. It just means we've been taking the shots. We've been showing up to the best of our ability each and every day. When we're feeling death daily, it makes it easier for us to know and feel what we should be focusing on each day. What are the real priorities in our lives? What really matters, right? What would feel incomplete if I was suddenly facing my death? That's the direction you want to go in life. That's how this practice can help you move forward in the most meaningful ways you can. It's something we often fear. My death, the end. But it's something we can come to appreciate and love for the way it wakes us up and calls us here and now into this moment. You can do it right now. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and tune into the end, the knowing that this will not last forever. You are going to die. There will be a last inhale, and that will be followed by a last exhale. What do you want your body, your heart, your mind to feel like during those last 2 breaths? If you found out you had 3 months left to live, what is it in you that would need to happen for those 2 final breaths to be breaths of peace? Who do you need to call, to see? Where do you need to travel? Who do you want to spend time with? What do you need to create? What do you need to change and let go of that you've been holding on to that you don't need to? You have a profound guide to help you answer these questions. A guide that is always with you, always present, always lurking, is the original state we all go back to. The emptiness of death. You can ask it right now. You can feel it right now. Death, what do I need to know? What changes do I need to make? Where am I living safely instead of living free? It's a powerful practice. What would people say about me? What have I been putting off for too long? And what do I really, actually give a shit about? Only you can come up with these answers. Only you can have a sense of what it would take for you to die free. And only you can get those answers by feeling your death. It will change how you live. It will change how you breathe. It will make it so much easier to appreciate what you have. Death and gratitude are two twins, two sides of the same coin. They reinforce each other. They make our awareness of each other even stronger. The more you feel death daily, the more you can appreciate what is. The relationships, the connections, the work, the meaning that you do have in life. And the more you speak that, the more connected you'll feel. So much of the stuff we do as men is to get away from that feeling of death. I don't want to think about it. I want to numb it. It's scary. We're totally disconnected from it here in the West. It's just not part of our day-to-day. It's all handled in ways that make it pretty invisible in our culture. It's not really something we talk about until the end. I think we should change that. I think we should talk about it daily. I think we should feel it daily. I think we should use the wisdom of the perspective of death to guide us through our lives, through our choices, through our relationships, and through our deepest purposes in the world. What happens when you feel it right now? What tension is there in your system that would need to be released for you to die free? Let me know. Drop a comment on the website or email me at jason@evolutionary.men and let's start to talk. What would it mean for you to start living your life differently while feeling death? It's probably going to help you generate a list of meaningful things, a list of ways you want to be, a way to live in each moment. And here's the truth. You're not going to be able to do all that alone. Get some help. Let other people know this is what matters most to me. This is what matters most to me. And then start moving towards it. You don't know how long you have. So let's make this time meaningful. If you want some help and want to get connected to other men of depth and start learning and cultivating your wisdom from feeling death daily, you can check out one of my drop-in men's groups at evolutionary.men/events. And if you want to take your depth of purpose and relationship to a completely new place, you can check out my free training for guys who want to take back control of their love lives at evolutionary.men/webinar. Until next time.